And in racing, I guess, whenever you speak of the Randwick Mile, the name Superimpose is bound to rate a fairly high mention. The deeds of this magnificent galloper are now very much a turf legend.
Superimpose is the only galloper to have won the Doncaster Epsom Double in successive years. On Doncaster Day 1995, we reflect on the deeds of a mighty thoroughbred.
It's always been said champion racehorses will bring the people to the track. Superimpose very much fitted the bill. There's no doubt he was a star of the turf. The first chapter in an amazing double came on Doncaster Day 1990. Bruce Compton was the rider, the silks black with white sleeves and red cap, flashing home for victory.
Shaftesbury Avenue still in front, Superimpose wide out, lunged and got up to win the Doncaster.
In October of that year, Super was to follow up his Doncaster success with a win in the other big mile event, the Epsom.
Livingstone Lane, don't play, comrade. Our Poverty Bay is joining in, and his poor Landic and Superimpose right down the extreme outside. Is he going to win another big Randwick Mile? Superimpose, a super horse. What a horse. Superimpose beat our Poverty Bay in the Epsom.
Horses like Superimpose come along maybe once in 50 years. To be that tough, that durable, that genuine, and to specialise so much over one particular distance. The word freak is probably used too often in sport, but in the case of Superimpose, it's very accurate. He was a freak.
Come 1991, and the burden of the handicapper was expected to tell, as Superimpose chased a second Doncaster.
And Superimpose, as he was this day last year, is absolute last as the Doncaster field goes to the 800 mark.
Into the straight, and it was a familiar story.
Superimpose right down the outside. Here comes the top weight at the 200. St Jude. Livingstone Lane burst through on the rail. Superimpose down the outside. Livingstone Lane in front, but go Super. Superimpose is mowing down Livingstone Lane. Superimpose has done it again. He's done it again.
An emotional day, only to be topped 6 months later. Darren Beedman would again be the rider. He was feeling the pressure.
I'd be lying if I said it wasn't, because you know, really history was riding on the horse's back, and you know, really, you know, it was quite an easy horse to ride, but from about the 600 or 700 metres onwards, that's when the pressure really started to maintain, and it was a matter of pulling the right rein and looking for the right horses to follow, and for the runs to appear, and you know, to sort of stop the horse's momentum, because he always carried #1 saddlecloth, and you know, over 60 kilos. You can't afford too many stoppages.
It's the Epsom Handicap 1991. The fairy tale comes to life.
Look at Superimpose. He's come through between horses. He's going to do it. It's history at Randwick. Superimpose has come from last, and he wins his second Epsom. An amazing performance and a great ride by Beedman.
I think I shared in the euphoria of the day. I'll never forget it. As Darren Beedman came back to scale, he just fell forward in the saddle and embraced a great horse and a great performance. I couldn't help but think on the day that this is the way it must have been at Randwick in the days of Far Lap in the 30s, in the days of Burnborough, the 1940s, and Tulloch in the late 1950s. Days that I had not really experienced.
Remember vividly the last furlong?
Yeah, it'll go with me to the grave. It was a thrill. You know, the back of the hairs on the neck were really standing up at the 100-metre mark, because I knew I had them covered, and I knew that my run wasn't going to be impeded.
There were many other victories for Superimpose. However, when he was retired in 1993 by trainer Lee Friedman, he left the course still the undisputed king of the mile at Randwick.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful champion. And remember Tappy's call so very, very well. Is there anything in the field to compare with that great thoroughbred? We'll find out very shortly when we bring you our live coverage of the big race. Meanwhile, Ken Callender has the latest market on race 6 here at Randwick.
There's no Superimpose in this race, Kenny, and I don't think there's one in the Doncaster, but it's a really good field anyway. Right, let's go. #1 Moonshine, coming to point at $15. Lament, $9. Live It Up, $11. Money Think still at $8. $12 for Circles of Gold. Rain in Spain, $4.80, very much in commission. Joy Denise, $6.50. Staying Alive, $7.50. Street Theatre, $12. Centane's Gift, $51. Alshmoss, $13. Magnetic Bell, $34. Salzburg, $41. Safe Hit, $81. Charmed Life, $40. And Devil's Gold, $100. Okay, Maxie, that's the tote scene with 12.5 minutes to post time.
Way to go, Kenny. And after the break, we run our eye over the starters in the BMW Adrian Knox Stakes.
Okay, there are the fillies parading for the Adrian Knox Stakes, a Group 3 race, the BMW Adrian Knox Stakes this year, the Group 3 race for fillies. And there is a very, very good filly, Joy Denise, TAB number 7. She just might be one run off the top. She's followed around by Staying Alive, one of 2 runners in the race from the John Murray stable. The other one is the one I've backed, Money Thinks. Let's look at these prices. Moonshine is into $13, a bit of money for the Kiwi. Lament is showing at $9, out to $9.50. Number 3, Live It Up, is at $12 now. Money Thinks is out to $10. Give us strength. By golly, give us strength. Circles of Gold, number 5, is at $12. Rain in Spain out from $4.80 to $5. Joy Denise, TAB number 7, is out now to $7. Staying Alive at the same price. $12 Street Theatre, $50 Centane's Gift. Number 11, Al Schmuss, out from $13 to $15. Magnetic Bell at $34. 41 Salzburg, 81 Safe Hit, 41 Charmed Life, and over $100 for Devil's Gold. Well, Andrew Voss is our roving reporter this afternoon. He's got another interviewee in tow.
And Ken, I'm with Bill Mitchell right now. A bit of a roughie in this race, Salzburg. Any chance?
It's just got a rough hope, you know. She does seem to handle the wet. She's had a run over the distance, not much luck last start. I thought, you know, she'll be up handy and will run the 2,000. They may be too good for her, but she'll be a place chance.
Well, that's number 13, and I think it's paying up over the 40-to-1 mark now. As for the Doncaster Arrogant, I think it's one of Fatty's actually heading into the day. Has the rain helped?
No, we really didn't want the rain. She has run all right on a dead track in the Surround Stakes when she ran second. That's probably her only run on a wet track since she's been a 3-year-old anyway. And I would say it's probably not going to help her, but she'll be trying her hard out. She always does that.
Yeah, all the same, she's a filly with a good strike rate.
She's a very good filly. You know, she's high class, and you just wonder with the wet ground whether it helps some of the older horses that are, you know, starting to feel the jar a bit on the faster tracks, where she'd go well on that.
Bill, good luck.
Thanks very much.
Yes, that was Andrew Voss there with Bill Mitchell, and there's my tip, Money Thinks, as I cross back to Kenny Sutcliffe.
Thank you, Ken. In a week when the jockeys have been very much in the news, we thought we'd take a look at one of those who've made a big impression over the past 6 months for all the right reasons. 24-year-old Lisa Kropp is a former Kiwi who is mixing with the men winner for winner. Her story is not without setbacks, but right at the moment, Lisa is enjoying a very smooth ride.
Well, my father was a trainer, and I started riding ever since I was about 2 years old. So about 12, I started riding work at the local track, and I was always going to be a jockey. It was just a plan. I left school very early and just took off from there.
Born to be a jockey, Lisa Kropp is turning out to be a damn good one. From the tracks of New Zealand to Japan and now to Sydney, Lisa is making her mark in what is still a male-dominated sport.
I think when I first arrived, they were just a little bit comprehensive of me. They really didn't know me. They hadn't seen me ride, but it didn't take long before the boys once I got out there and rode against them, they realised that I'd had a bit of experience behind me. And I mean, of course, there are a lot of New Zealand riders here like Cooksley and Larry Cassidy and so forth, and they knew how I could ride, so it's been very good. There's never been a problem, really.
A mark of her ability is the amount of work she's been getting from a variety of trainers. Rarely does a Sydney meeting pass where the name Lisa Kropp isn't in the race book at least half a dozen times.
She's a nice filly, you know, she travels too good not to do something, so I couldn't...
Oh, she'll be all right. We'll just sort her out.
She'll be out to the right distance.
Well,
Thanks for coming.
you saved all the ground and rode a good race.
Thanks.
She's probably done as good as any female rider here since ladies have ridden here. She's a good rider. Like, I believe she's a really good rider on a horse, good horse lady. Horses go well for her, they relax for her.
Lisa's likely to head back to Japan later this year. She's already noted for being the first female jockey there and the first foreign jockey, male or female, to ride full-time.
It was a great trip. I was lucky enough to get the contract. I was first female and first foreigner to ever be able to ride up there. And it was a great experience. As soon as I landed in Japan, they looked after me, they supported me right through, and It was just such a good experience, and I'd do anything to go back.
Had a crash course in the language?
Yeah, it was a crash course. I learnt enough by the end of it to get a by, but of course it's a very hard language to learn. I picked up a lot though. It helped my boss, he spoke good English, so it was a bit of fun.
If Japan was a highlight, then injuries have provided plenty of lows. Making comebacks from 2 broken legs and a broken neck has given Lisa a steely resolve to succeed.
You know, when I was sitting in hospital watching the races, it drove me mad. You know, all I wanted to do was get back out there, and I think it does make a better person of you. You take your job for granted a little bit, and when you get you have a fall like that and you're off the scene for 6 months, it makes a better person of you. You know what you want, and you don't take this for granted so much now.
But back to the present, and with a steady flow of winners in Sydney, Lisa makes no secret of the fact she's loving every minute.
Sydney racing's always lured me. I've always been in New Zealand watching Sydney racing, wish I was there. Now I'm here, it's great.
Not bad to make a living out of something you love.
Oh, it certainly is, and there's nothing better to be able to ride a horse on the track. It's just a great feeling, and yeah, it's good to be in a good sport and to do something you love. You can make money out of it.
Could you see yourself doing anything different?
Oh, certainly not. I've had a few grace falls, and I've always sometimes I thought about what else could I do, but yeah, Jordan gets back, you want to get back on the track, and yeah, no, there's nothing else I'd rather do.
Yeah, that was Lisa Krupp. She's the best lady jockey I've seen, and there she is there on Money Thinks. I used to have a few reservations about Lisa. I still think there's a few guys here ride better than her, but she's a very, very good jockey, and I used to think Marie Linden was a top-class woman jockey, but I think Lisa Krupp is a better all-round rider than her, and I think she's the best woman jockey that I've seen in the time since women have been riding. And there she is aboard Money Thinks there. I back Money Thinks. I just think a tiny bit of a risk in the going and a little bit of a risk at the 2,000 metres. But I think she's got the edge on a lot of these horses in class. It'd be nice and appropriate if she wins this race after have had that little special on her. There's number 6, Rain in Spain. Fatty Vorton's tip, Shane Dye the rider. Rain in Spain is also stepping up in distance, and she's a filly who is showing a lot of promise. In the Balmain colours there, her owner's Mr. and Mrs. Don Story. Don has always been a Tigers supporter, and that's why his horses race in the black and gold colours. Right, they're behind the barriers. Pretty big field here, 16 fillies. They'll keep Johnny Tapp on their toes, on his toes I should say, but I bet he finishes in front. Here he is.
Thanks, Ken. A beauty, my boy. The BMW Adrian Knox Stakes, and these 3-year-old fillies move in. It's a Group 3. Lisa Krupp wears exactly the same colours she wore in the earlier race today that she won here at Randwick on Classy Fella. Yellow with a black cap. And Money Thinks at double figure odds on the tote, I think is going to run a very good race too. A hard trying filly. I've noticed her in a couple of races. She really chases. Well, Jock, what do you think of these fillies as they move into the stalls?
I can't fault Rain in Spain here, John. She's a magnificently relaxed filly, really long striding girth, and she's my pick here, Rain in Spain. I do think number 8, Staying Alive's got a great hope on appearance. She's a really relaxed, athletic filly, and does like the going, and she just looks magnificent today, Staying Alive, as does the good maiden, number 9, Street Theatre. But I think 6 will do me here to beat 8 and 9. Back to you, Johnny.
Jock Logley riding Old Ming Dynasty over behind the starting point for race 6, the BMW Adrian Knox Stakes. Jock Logley was a successful jockey himself and is now a well-known voice on radio. He's a form analyst, commentator, and all-round good fellow. And do you think he doesn't love a bush meeting? Everywhere I go in the bush, the first bloke I run into is Jock Logley. Now moving in is Moonshine. Lament goes up with Devil's Gold, and we're just waiting for Centaine's Gift. Complete the line and they'll be all set and ready for dispatch. 2,000 metres, BMW Adrian Knox Stakes. Al Smooth has the inside gate. Live It Up stands well. So does Salzburg and Joie Denise. Off, good start, and from the inside, one of the first out is Al Smooth. Circles of Gold jump well, and so did Safe Hit and Staying Alive. Money Thinks, Live It Up, Salzburg is tearing over, followed by Magnetic Bell and then Joie Denise. Lament, Rain in Spain getting back. Moonshine has cluttered up in the pack on settling down, followed by Devil's Gold and Street Theatre, and back at the tail, Centaine's Gift. Going over the crossing at the mile, into the back they go, and Salzburg pulling in front, made that crossing awkwardly too, is now being taken on by Live It Up on the outside. In third place, Joie Denise getting in to be one off the fence on the outside of Circles of Gold. A little more than a length then to Safe Hit on the inside of Lament. A length and a half to Al Smooth, joined by Money Thinks on the outside. They're going at a very nice gallop. Further back, Staying Alive, followed by Moonshine, Charmed Life, Magnetic Bell, Street Theatre. Then Devil's Gold and Rain in Spain, and back at the tail, Centane's Gift. Past the 1200 mark to the top turn, and Darren Beedman went to the lead on Live It Up. Kicked away by a length and a half to Salzburg, who won't settle. She wants to rip and reef. In third place, Joie Denise, and there's Lament taking off 3 deep, followed by Circles of Gold. Safe Hit on the outside. Money Thinks getting a nice cart up. At the head of the others, Staying Alive, and then Al Smooth. Further back is Charmed Life, followed by Moonshine. Moving around the outside, Street Theatre. Rain in Spain has cluttered up near the fence, going over the crossing, followed by Magnetic Bell. Then Centane's Gift, and Devil's Gold is back at the tail. They're bunching up tightly. 700 out now. It's Live It Up, Lament, and Salzburg is getting an inside run as they come to the turn, followed by Safe Hit. Money Thinks out wide. Further back, Staying Alive, and then Joie Denise, followed by Circles of Gold. From Street Theatre, Centane's Gift is widest of all on the turn. Further back is Charmed Life, followed by Moonshine, Magnetic Bell, and Rain in Spain. Coming over the rise, 300 out. It's Live It Up, Lament, Salzburg. Circles of Gold getting through in the middle, and Circles of Gold has dashed to the lead, coming to the 200 mark. Further out is Money Thinks. At the 200 though, Circles of Gold, the leader. Staying Alive is getting out of the pack and looking a danger. The leader, Circles of Gold. Staying Alive on the outside is getting to it quickly. They're well clear of the others. Circles of Gold holding Staying Alive at bay, and Circles of Gold well ridden. Too good. Beat Staying Alive. Lament third, followed by Live It Up, Charmed Life, Joie Denise, Al Smooth, Street Theatre. Then Money Thinks, Devil's Gold, Centane's Gift, Magnetic Bell. Well back, Safe Hit, followed by Salzburg and Moonshine, and Rain in Spain is last to finish. Stand by for numbers on the BMW Adrian Knox Stakes. A gutsy win to Circles of Gold, ridden by the Victorian ace Patrick Payne. Came through a gap on top of the rise and dashed to the lead full of running, and then held out Staying Alive. Circles of Gold, Paddy Payne, $11 and $3.60. Staying Alive second to pay $2.20, and third will be Lament, a place dividend of $2.90. This track's bringing a few undone today, Ken.
Exactly right, John, but as long as you stay away from that cutaway section. He found the right lane, Patrick Payne, stayed off the inside rail, and she really outstayed them, Circles of Gold, and won quite convincingly from Staying Alive, who followed through and also got a good run through the field. And the grey Lament, who did a lot of work, I think did particularly well to hold on for third placing. But as John told you, the winner, Circles of Gold, has paid $11 to win and $3.60 the place. She was too good. Staying Alive a clear second, and Lament third. Now, as we pick them up there in the yellow colours with the red cap, is the winner, Circles of Gold. The other yellow cap just going up outside her is Staying Alive, so you can see that she had her chance, and Circles of Gold went to the post equally as well as her rival. Lament is out of picture, the third horse, but Patrick Payne on Circles of Gold gets her home ahead of Gavin Eads on Staying Alive. Andrew Voss is down in the winner's enclosure.
Well, Brian Smith, the winning trainer, it appears Circles of Gold certainly likes the wet.
Yeah, she loves it, and she's a nice staying filly, and the owners have been patient for me, and we head into the Oaks now. You know, maybe we're not with a great chance, but if we get a bit of water, she's a lovely staying filly.
The ideal ride today from Paddy Payne?
Yeah, well, he's a lovely rider, and he's got nice hands, and it looked easy in the finish, but if he hadn't been able to settle her, and I feel sorry for Terry Jones, who's been riding her all the time, but things didn't go right for him last time, and that's racing.
All right, Brian, well, you don't have a concern in the Doncaster, but what about a tip?
No, I've given my tip everywhere today, and she's got the money, so we're a real happy bunch.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
B.J. Smith from New Zealand, originally the man who put the polish on that very, very good horse, Balmerino. Balmerino, one of the best horses it's been my pleasure to see. And he's now, of course, after his racing career, turned out to be a successful stallion. Ran second in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe at Longchamps in Paris. Okay, that was the story of the Adrian Knox Stakes. And let's look at Smith's filly, Circles of Gold, from another angle, from a head-on viewpoint, as she races well for Patrick Payne. Now here they come. She's second from the inside as we see them, with the red cap drifting out just a little bit, staying away from that quicksand on the inside. The other yellow cap immediately outside her in the blinkers is Staying Alive. Elegant horseman, Patrick Payne, and Circles of Gold was just far too good. That's one Victorian you can send up here any time, Simon.
Yeah, he's a ripper little rider, isn't he, Ken? And you know, he's just a lovely little fellow, and very fair bit of country in him, Victorian country in him, and that's good country too, Kenny.
He's a very good rider, Patrick Payne. We'll take a break because the next race coming up after the second leg of the double in Melbourne is, of course, the $1 million BMW Doncaster on the wide world of sports.
As Circles of Gold, Patrick Payne on board, ran a magnificent race. Took it out. The numbers we need to see are 5, 8 and 2 in the BMW Adrian Knox. So Circles of Gold, $11.60 for a win, $3.60 for a place. Number 8, Staying Alive, $2.20, and Lament in third place, paying $2.90. Okay, time now to cross to the sports store.
Mr. Untouchable at $34. Remember, these are Victorian TAB prices. Mr. Elegant at $11, Daring Hombre at $6. Just Awesome, a very good horse, having his first run today for Lee Friedman, formerly trained at Rose Hill by Ken Turner. Be very hard to beat. Diamond Tipped at $7, Parketry $51, Pugwall $10, Stematina at $21, Triboo $9, Tennessee Magic $4, equal favourite, Poacher Star at $67, Sphere at $34, Front Rank $81, and Rancho Reward is a scratching. We won't put you on the spot for Melbourne, Simon, but when we get to the Doncaster, I'm going to go for Brave Warrior. What do you think?
You're going to go for Brave Warrior. I'm going to go for Schnapp. I think the New Zealand mare, I watched her win at Flemington last start. I think she's going to run a real good race today, especially in this going too, Ken.
I think Fatty snapped. Here he is.
Kenny, what's doing? In the Melbourne race 7, I'm going for a former West Australian horse. It's a Speed Merchant. It's got great form from WA. The 1,000 metres will suit Daring Hombre.
I told you all of that.
That's right.
One 6 from 20. Michael Clark on board. D. Hayes, the trainer, will win by snippets. It is a speed machine.
It's a special in the Doncaster. I like Snap. Pete, what about you?
Calm Harbour. Grant Cooksley's replaced Mick Dittman, which is a little bit of a problem, but G. Cooksey rides well. And it'll be good odds. Number 1, the toppy.
Back to you, Sutters.
I think. Thank you very much, Fatty. You're back to me anyway.
Oh, you got him again.
I think that this Melbourne race is quite a tricky affair, Simon. The boys, they've had to go in Melbourne, so if they've had to go in Melbourne as well as Sydney, we're entitled to. What do you think?
Kenny, I'd have to stick with the family. Mr. Elegant's a full brother to Elegance here, which will come up here and win the Galaxy on Monday. So sorry, Fatty, for tipping that to the whole of Australia, but I'll stick with him. I think he's a pretty good sprinting horse. He'll have a chance in this.
I think Triboo's got a good chance over 1,000 metres now with the David Hayes stable. Goes very fast. I think it's well placed and got a good chance. I just got it ahead of Just Awesome. They're going into the barrier here. Very 1,000 metres. That's Triboo going in now in the Scalacci colours. And he's a grey, so you'll be able to pick him up. It's not Scalacci rung in here, incidentally. Triboo used to race up here in Sydney, was very fast. There's Tennessee Magic, the youngster going in. She's drawn in the centre of the field, and she's at just over $4 on the Victorian TAB. Number 5 is Diamond Tipped there, going in the Gerald Ryan colours, I think they are. And still to go in the red is Mr. Elegant. That's the horse you're tipping, Simon.
Yeah, he's a nice type of horse. Over 1,000 metres probably won't suit him as best as what he goes over 1,200. It's a pretty interesting race, really. Pugwall's in with a chance. Sphere is in with a chance at long odds. Very interesting race.
Yep, we're still waiting for Mr. Elegant. He's not proving stubborn. He's just waiting his turn. And I think it's time now for us to go to Caulfield for this Dash for Cash with John Russell. Here he is.
Mr. Untouchable, who has proven to have bad manners on more than one occasion. Now, they've got him in. He was the one in the blindfold. Untouchable has moved up. Mr. Untouchable, that is, the rider about to remount. Climbing back in the saddle. Diamond Tip stands up well. Last start winner at the track. And most of them ready here. So they should soon go. Second last on the card. Racing here again on Monday. First event at 12:10. There's the light. They're ready. Line is good. Racing now. and Mr. Untouchable. Sphera, two of the first to come out with Pugwall, who got out well with Just Awesome showing speeder. Diamond Tip was away well and going fast towards the inside as Tennessee Magic, and just in behind them, going forward quickly, Stamatina, being followed by Poacher Star, and further back in the field there, Daring Ombre settling into stride, and Stamatina going very fast as the leader from Tribune. Wider on the track as Pugwall, a length and a half. Diamond Tip, Just Awesome in behind them. Sphera, they're followed by front rank Daring Ombre, Mr. Elegant, well back Poacher Star, followed further back in the field towards the tail by Parketry as they make the home turn. Pugwall very deep on the track, being tackled by Diamond Tip and Tribune in the centre, and over on the inside Stamatina, Just Awesome is joining in. Tennessee Magic in between horses looking for a run, and Daring Ombre now in the clear, but the leader Diamond Tipped about to be tackled by Just Awesome, coming at it very quickly in the final stages. Mr. Elegant flying home from a long way back, but it's Just Awesome in front, and Just Awesome will win it nicely. Just Awesome is first, second tight. It's either Daring Ombre or Diamond Tipped in a photo, then Mr. Elegant. Next to finish is Parketry, there followed by front rank and Sphera, and further back in the field came at the head of the others Pugwall. They were followed next home by Mr. Untouchable, well back Tennessee Magic with Tribune, and last of all Stamatina.
That's a horse for you to remember for the Brisbane Winter Carnival, because I'm sure that's where he'll go now. Lee Freedman will do very, very well with this horse, Just Awesome. Goes past Diamond Tip, and the race is all over. Daring Ombre flashes up to be in a photo for second with Diamond Tip in the cerise and blue colours there. We'll try and line them up, no doubt about the winner, Just Awesome. Very close for second and third. Perhaps, I don't know, we'd have to go a few more metres, and it looks like, what do you reckon, Simon? Daring Ombre's just got up for second ahead of Diamond Tip?
Yeah, I think, no, I'd still stick with the inside. I reckon Diamond Tip right just in front of Daring Ombre. I'm sorry, Kenny.
We'll leave that to the judge anyway. Neither of us are the official man, but if you've backed Just Awesome, I envy you. You got cash in your pocket as we go for a break and then come back for the big one, the BMW Doncaster. Okay, well, they're in the enclosure for the Doncaster Handicap. I'm just getting the prices up at the moment. We'll go down through them now. Number 1, Calm Harbour at $15. Number 2, All Our Mob out to $9.50. Number 3, Pharaoh, coming to his own in the wet, is at $10. Hariba and Star Dancer are both scratchings. Number 6, Telesto, is showing at $26. Snap, favourite on the tote, the New Zealand mare, $5.50. Number 8, Brave Warrior at $8, give him strength. Navy Seal at $31. Origin at $10. Arborea, number 11, is at $21. Number 12, Barrel at $21. Number 13, Denarani, is showing $50. Number 14, Mr. Marconi at $21 from New Zealand. Number 15, if I can catch him on the board there, My Diamond Rouge is showing at $67. That's nice odds. Number 16, Light Up the World, who's well in the market from the Gay Waterhouse stable, is showing at $12. Light Up the World to be ridden by Lisa Crop. Be a fairy tale story after our story if she can win. Number 17, Auntie Mary. I don't know how you could back her, although she did win the Villiers over this course. She's showing now at $17. Number 18, Pride of Rancho, is showing at $100. Number 19, Why Kick a Moo Cow, is showing at, if I can catch the board there, at $27. Number 18, Pimpala Sun, one of the roughies, is Pimpala Sun is nearly at $80, $81 for Pimpala Sun. Then the two reserves, $32 for Mapley Star. I'm going the wrong way there. Down to $32. And then finally, LA Glen is also at a similar price, showing $34. We'll get out to there in a moment. $34 for LA Glen. Okay, Snap, a clear-cut favourite, $5.70 on the tote now. Simon, a lot of people agree with you.
Yeah, I think they should too. She looks an absolute treat, but it's just amazing seeing a Group 1 race like this. Calm Harbour looks absolutely sensational, and also Brave Warrior, just outstanding animals. And it's probably a pity the couple of blokes who are going to talk soon, they're definitely not outstanding animals, are they, Kenny?
Exactly right, Simon. I've got my money on Brave Warrior. You're on Snap. Here's that outstanding animal, Mr. Paul Vaught.
Well, thank you, Ken. Now, I'm a Snap fan, I really am. I played all the time with my kids at home, and it's a very good racehorse as well, Snap, and I think it'll win the Doncaster. Sterlo?
I think the New Zealanders will fight it out. I'm still going Calm Harbour. The Query horse, another Kiwi, Mr. Marconi, number 14, won 7 from 8. It might be something at big odds and light up the world. I'm going Calm Harbour.
Very open race, this one, Kenny, but Snap will do me. Back to you, Kenny.
Thanks very much, Fatty. Yep, there they are, parading now. TAB number 9 is Navy.